Welcome to this week's edition of Worldview. My name is Walker.
And my name's Alex. Worldview is produced by the World History classes. We bring you stories about world news and updates on school service and sports at Summit. Now for the news. Egyptians, inspired by the recent Tunisian revolution, have been taking a stand themselves against the increasing price of food, growing unemployment, poor living conditions, and the current president, Hosni Mubarak, who has been ruling Egypt for 31 years. Because the recent protests have become so violent, there have been over 1,000 people injured. The Egyptian government set a national curfew and blocked all cell phone and internet access in order to quell the protests, but people are still defying the government, even though Mubarak has agreed to step down at the end of his term. On Tuesday, pro-Mubarak demonstrators began attacking demonstrators opposed to the president.
Tourist employees and U.S. government workers have had a difficult time getting out of Egypt. The United States has sent in planes to evacuate as many American citizens as possible, but hundreds remain in the country. Many citizens have also had difficulty communicating with friends and relatives at home. All foreigners have been told to stay in their homes and wait for help. One tourist trapped on a tour boat said, "I'm safe, but trapped."
At the beginning of the protests in Egypt, vandals broke into the National Museum in Cairo and damaged many artifacts. They ripped the heads off 2 mummies, and about 10 other smaller items were damaged. The suspects were caught and detained by army soldiers before they could steal anything. Officials are afraid that other break-ins will occur because of the chaos in the streets, so the museum is being kept under heavy guard.
Last September, the Cuban government announced that the island's communist economy was allowing a limited amount of private enterprise. The new business owner, however, are facing many difficulties, like high taxes and an absence of raw materials. Thousands of Cubans are standing in line for a new business license. The future of Cuba's economy might depend on the success or failure of this private enterprise experiment.
Because of a drunk driving accident on a school campus in China, 23-year-old Li Qiming was sentenced to 6 years in prison. The accident killed 1 woman and injured another. Li attempted to flee the crime scene and felt that he could get away with it because his father was a senior police official. Li's attempt to use his father to escape punishment was reported widely on the internet. Many saw the case as an example of change in the way the legal system has operated in China under communist rule.
China has a growing elderly population, and caring for them has become a major concern of the government. By tradition, children in China are supposed to take care of the older parents, but that tradition has begun to change. The Chinese government has proposed a new law to help deal with the problem. Under the law, adult children would be required to visit their parents twice yearly and assist in their care. If children do not care for their parents, parents would be permitted to sue.
At the World Economic Forum meeting in Switzerland, people are looking optimistically at the global economy for the first time in 3 years. While the economy has improved, however, world political conditions are becoming increasingly less stable. Another important issue discussed at the forum was the concern about rising prices of food. Powerful but crowded countries such as India and China are at risk. Even though these concepts don't seem too bright, the leaders from the Eastern Hemisphere are much more optimistic than the leaders here in the West. Christina has this week's school service news.
Hey everyone, you still have the opportunity to sign up to help put together the recycled murals during study hall in the art room. The days when you can work will be posted outside the upper school office and also announced by the Environmental Service Committee. Don't forget that if you are in PE or swimming, you cannot sign up, but there will be other service opportunities. Walter and Houston have sports news.
Hi everyone.
The JV boys basketball team has had a great season so far, with only 1 loss. The JV girls have also had a good season. Right now they have 5 wins and 6 losses.
The varsity boys are on a 3-game winning streak with 5 games left in the season, and the varsity girls are doing very well also with only 2 losses.
Keep up the good work for the rest of the season, teams, and Summit students and faculty. Show your school spirit by coming out and cheering for the Eagles at their last few games of the season.
Go
Eagles!
That's Worldview this week. Goodbye, everyone.
See you next week.